Page 23, adding mixed numbers, like and unlike denominators. So there are a few ways to do this. One way is just add the whole numbers together, add the proper fractions together, which we just learned how to do on the previous page in the previous video, and I want to simplify, regroup. Regroup if necessary. So if I got 1 1/2, I'd need to regroup, or if I got 3/2, excuse me, I'd need to regroup that into 1 1/2. And I'll show an example of that. Or we can change both mixed numbers to improper fractions and then just add and simplify. So some examples. We'll start with 12 1/8 plus 23 3/4. Okay, we've got a couple options here. We can start, method 1 says add the whole numbers together. So we have 35. Add the fractions together. Well, 1/8 and 3/4 don't have the same denominator, but they could. We just have to change them a little bit. Common denominator for 8 and 4. Give you a second to think about that. We get common denominator of 8, double the 4 to get 8, double the 3 to get 6. This stays the same. 1/8 plus 6/8 is 7/8. Remember, the denominator stays the same. So there's method 1, 35 and 7/8. Let's look at the same example a different way. 12 1/8 plus 23 3/4. Okay, this is 12 times 8 plus 1 over 8. This is 23 times 4 plus 3 over 4. It's a little messy, but that's okay. 12 times 8 is 96 plus 1 is 97. 23 times 4 is 92, plus 3 is 95. We now have two fractions. Unfortunately, they don't have the same denominator, but we can fix that. Times 2 times 2 to get this up to having the same denominator. Notice that it's the same common denominator that we found over here. That's no coincidence. Now I have 97/8, 198. Add those together, and we're going to get 287 over 8. If we want to convert that to a mixed number, take 8 into 28. It goes in 3 times. I'm going to do short division just to show you how. Feel free to use long division if you prefer. 8 times 3 is 24, so there are 4 left. 8 goes into 47 how many times? Almost 6, but not quite. 5. 5 times 8 is 40. 47 minus 47, and my denominator stays the same. I get the same answer. Now, you may be looking at this and saying, why on earth would you even bother to show me the green method? The blue method is so much easier. And in a lot of cases, I agree. But that's not the case for every example. So let's take a look at another example. Let's take a look at 8 5/6 plus 7 4/9. Okay, doing the same thing that I did over here. 8 plus 7 is 15. I'm going to turn my fractions so they have common denominators. 6 and 9, least common multiple is 18. Double these, triple these. 15 plus 8 gives me 23 18ths. So there's my answer, right? 15 and 23 18ths. Well, no. What's wrong with that? Take a look. You'll notice this is improper. So we have to regroup. We have to say 23 18ths. 18 goes into 23 once with 5 left over. This is 1 and 5/18. So really, Since mixed numbers always have this plus sign that we generally don't write, this is 15 plus 1 plus 5/18. Putting all that together, we get 16 and 5/18 as our answer, 16 and 5/18. So we had to do a little bit of regrouping, but it's not so terrible. Let's take a look at the second method. So same example, 8 and 5/6 plus 7 and 4/9. I'm going to turn these into improper fractions first. I could do a common denominator first, it doesn't really matter. I like to turn it improper first. So 8 times 6 is 48, plus 5 is 53. 7 times 9 is 63, plus 4 is 67, over 9. Now we need a common denominator. I realize that once again it'll be 18. No surprise there, since it was 18 the other way we did it. And now I have some big numbers. 53 times 3, well, 50 times 3 is 150. So this is just a little bit more. 67 times 2, well, 60 times 2 is 120, plus the 14, we get 134. Add those together. I have 293 18ths. We're gonna have to do a little bit of work here to figure out 18 into 293. I'll do long division this time just to show you both methods. We did short division earlier. So bring down that 3, 18 into 113. Well, I don't know, but I do know that my answer over here was a 6 after the 1. Let's hope that that was right. Let's try the 6. If we weren't sure, that's okay. We could try a 5, we could try an 8, whatever we want to try, and then we just erase it if it doesn't work out. But 6 times 18 is going to give us, let's see, 108. Subtract, we have 5 left over. 16 and 5/18. So personally, I prefer the blue method with a little bit of regrouping, but many people prefer turning it into improper fractions, and that's totally fine. It is your choice how you want to do these. And I'll give you one to do on your own. Number 3, work through 3 and 11/12 plus 11 and 4/9. I see that 11/12 is almost 1, 4/9 is about half. So this is going to involve some regrouping or doing it the second method. Okay, we've got some application problems too. We have some pamphlets on top of a book. It's this thick, the book is that thick. We're putting them together, that's addition. Again, not a surprise since we're doing addition in this section. Here we have some milk and some melted butter. How much liquid? We're going to take these. In both cases, make sure that you remember your units. And I'll meet you in the next video.